Hello, welcome to the Council of the First Ones podcast. In this video, we're taking a look at Noah Centineo's recent announcement that he will not be a part of the live-action Masters of the Universe movie from Sony Pictures. One thing I wanted to mention on tonight's show is that Noah Centineo has said that he will not be a part of the new Masters movie. He said that in a recent interview. He said that he won't be doing the Masters movie. He will be doing the Black Adam movie.
Yes, he was already working out with Dwayne Johnson. I'm just wondering, is he just putting it on the back burner, figuring there's no script or anything else, or if he's walking away from the project?
Don't know. Or maybe there's no project.
I wouldn't put it past because that seems to be a curse.
Right.
We were one of the first with a post-credit scene in '87 with Skeletor saying he'll be back.
He just didn't give the date.
Yeah.
I don't know. I know since that has been out there, there's a lot of people who are breathing a sigh of relief. I personally, I was neither one way or the other about it because I'm like, I'd like him to prove me wrong by being in the movie if it happened. But I also kept going, there's something about this that they're not announcing anybody else. There's a certain amount of like, okay, we've heard about him a year ago now or whatever it was. And there's no other who's Skeletor, who's Man at Arms. So it's like revelate. What was that? Sorry.
Who's directing? We didn't get any of the crucial information.
Well, the Nee brothers were directing it at that point. I don't know their first names, but they're called the Nee brothers. And I was like, okay, there's directors, there's him. But then that was it, and it's like it's been again radio silence on that one for like months. So it doesn't surprise me that they'd say they're probably going to mothball it or they're going to try another idea or something. But yeah, I think. Well, go ahead.
I'm feeling Sony does this every once in a while to keep the license for the action movie alive, because if they lose it, because if you notice, every about 4 to 5 years you hear, oh, we're starting the Masters project, and then it dies.
Just so that they hold on to the license, you're saying?
Yes.
It could. The other thing is they might be waiting for these cartoons that they're going to come out to put the name back into homes again, just like Origins is out there too. You build up enough of that foundation, and then they'd announce that a movie's going to hit, and then that would make more people be likely to want to see it, possibly, if the other ones worked the way they hoped. But I'm going to be the one saying I honestly think Masters is something that we should not see live action because I think it won't be done in live action the way that anybody wants. There's too many factions in the community of what they want to see. And if you make one faction feel they're being left out of whatever this live action version is, I think it's not going to help. And this is already a small enough community that we're not enough to sustain a movie if they have to have $150 to $200 million budget to make this kind of a movie happen nowadays. That's just me. And the other problem is, who are you going to cast that isn't going to drive everybody crazy because they have their own fan casting in their head of this is who should be this character, you know? And
right.
And that's a tough one to chip away at too, because that's why everybody, he said he's not involved with it. And there were so many people happy because that isn't their version of how they want to see He-Man. But, you know, somebody else like me would be like, I'm willing to give him a shot if he can bring it across, you know, like it doesn't bother me.
Well, certainly they have to appeal to a wider audience, and whatever they come up with, you know, diehard fans are not going to be thrilled with.
Exactly.
But you know, my gut's telling me that that Mattel and Sony didn't intentionally put off the movie so that the cartoon can have its day. I really feel like that all of this is part of this grand strategy of, okay, we're going to hit everybody with toys, with the media to support those toys all at the same time. And we're seeing, everything's spread out, everything's delayed because of the pandemic. Not entirely because of the pandemic, certainly, but that's a factor. But yeah, this is where we're at. And so hopefully, just the fact that we have, like, if we were to get a San Diego Comic-Con or a PowerCon isn't any guarantee that we're going to be able to get any answers about, where the movie is.
No, I think at this point, if there's a hierarchy, Revelation is definitely the top tier of everybody waiting for something. And then the movie would maybe be next, and then the CGI cartoon would be last because there hasn't been much on that to begin with.
There's been
except
nothing.
for those 2 promotional images, and that's it.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, I would love to be the guy going, hey, live action He-Man movie's coming out next year, and we got a trailer. That's amazing, and getting excited to see something like that again. But
Yep.
I don't know. I feel like animation is the best place for a brand like this because you don't have to worry about the budget, worrying about the CGI or building some of this stuff to make it happen. But yeah, it'd be a dream come true to see it and see it done well on the big screen at the same time.
Well, and when the Revelation series does come out, and the couple questions would be, okay, so when will the Masterverse figures that are based on that cartoon series, when will those show up? And will it be too far apart from the release and finish of that series?
Well, we sort of have that already because last year at PowerCon, they said the multiverse figures, the first wave, would be based on the Kevin Smith Revelations and
the Masterverse figures, yeah.
Said August 2021, which goes with Sean's prediction of when we would be seeing that cartoon.
They are hiding these okay, I shouldn't say hiding, but they are so tightly holding on to the designs. And I don't know if they're worried the fans are going to be in outrage, or if it's just them wanting to just keep the enticement out there until boom, we finally see it, and then it's like we had nothing to worry about, or outrage, one or the other. And I don't know. Like, I know they said at PowerCon, it'd be fall 2021 that they would be in the stores and stuff. And actually, we're talking about this real quick. Hebro, his channel, had a video, I want to say about a month ago, where he actually stated deepdiscount.com already had the listing of the figures on there, including there's apparently I forget if they were called giant sized or there's like bigger versions that they were offering up, and then there's the Masterverse versions, and the list of that didn't even jive with what might be out there. So I don't know if that was like that list is not something to follow. Wait until the whole thing releases with a press release or with showing off these figures. But I thought it was funny. Mossman was the one that we had like a hint at, if that's what the case is. And even at PowerCon, the box art showed Mossman on the side of the box for the promo thing that they had, and Mossman wasn't even listed on the list on that on deepdiscount.com for these. So that's even more confusing if you want to go that route too with what the heck is happening.
That was one of the things we discussed the last time, the way Deep Discounts had them, because some of them were referred to as classics figures, giants. The price points were all over, and we're like, what's going on? Are they re-releasing some of the Motu classics as part of this line? The giants, and then they also had deluxe figures.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, if you look, I'm on deepdiscount.com right now, and if you search for Masterverse, nothing comes up now. The link that I placed in the original announcement on the Masterverse, the Evolution of He-Man fans group, if you follow that link now, it doesn't come up with anything.
That's fishy, because I think, you know, I know on his video, the one that Hebrew posted, he said he was ordering them. So it's like, if you go to a link and it's not even put, it's like, that's not good.
I mean,
boy.
I've never shopped at deepdiscount.com before. I don't know if it's like that Heroes Hideout website where they'll have a pre-order, but then when it's once it sells out, they completely remove the listing, so you can't even find it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I order from them quite often, and that's what they do.
Oh yeah, that's what they do.
I'm glad I wasn't the only one that went there in my head. Thanks. No, and I'm sorry, I didn't mean to bring it up when you said you did it last episode, but that was something where I'm like, okay, with all this stuff, and I know on that link or on that video, it was like August or September of 2021. They were saying that was the expected, that they'll have them to send them out to customers then or whatever. So yeah, it's like August, September of this year is prime time. So
yeah, we'll see.
I mean, I did order one of the figures. I can't remember which one now, and it has been canceled.
Oh,
your orders was canceled?
No, has not been canceled.
Oh, it has not been canceled.
Oh, okay.
So on the list was Beastman, Oversized Skeletor, Spikor, Tila, Man-at-Arms, Battlecat, Skeletor, Evelyn, and He-Man. And I'm thinking, Oversized Skeletor? Like, I don't know.
What's that all about? And then the other one for me was like, why would Spikor be in the initial wave? I mean, he isn't even on any of the casting lists.
Like, good job, Spikor. You're more popular than you give yourself credit for.
Apparently, yeah. It's like, who would have thought he had like some kind of like an underground support movement or whatever? Because I mean, I figured if you're gonna do a first wave of that, it's gonna probably be Skeletor, Evelyn, Beastman, and maybe Trapjaw, because he's usually a fan favorite too. So I don't know. Those silhouettes don't make me think Spikor is one of them, though. I will say that from when they released it at PowerCon. It's like, which one of those has spikes coming out of them? And if you show me the one, I'll say, yeah, I got a bridge in Brooklyn I could sell you too, because that's not
right.
It's like, no, there's no Spikor on those silhouettes. You can't tell me there is.
Maybe they just had to get rid of the spikes for, because of the kids, like for safety purposes.
Oh, we're going there. Okay. or maybe that's he's now it's the whole, the way that men are lately, where they have the head, they have to coif themselves and all that, and he's like, oh, I've ditched that. They just call me Spikor. I'm really actually a nice guy.